Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast series, Backstage Banter, where we have fun yet insightful conversations with our esteemed artists. Myself, Bhavya, and my co-host Shayoni would like to welcome Srimati Lakshmi Parthasarathy Athreya, one of the most prominent exponents of her generation in Bharatanatyam. I would like to quickly introduce her to you all. Lakshmi ma'am has trained in Bharatanatyam under the guidance of Srimati Chitra Vishweshwaran in Chidambaram Academy of Performing Arts in Chennai. She has performed extensively in various prestigious dance festivals in India as well as across the globe. She has conferred several prestigious awards such as the Natyakala Ratna Award, Sangeet Natak Academy Award to mark her notable talent in Bharatanatyam. Really glad to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to collaborate with SPIC MACAY. All of you do such unbelievable, fantastic, meaningful work, taking our arts to the next generation of people. So it's a very important job, and I'm greatly thrilled to be a part of it. Thank you for having me here.
We're very excited to work with such esteemed artists and share spaces with you all. And it's great for our exposure as well when we're students of dance or music or other arts.
Incidentally, I used to be on that side when I was in School of Architecture as a student. I
Uh-huh.
was part of the SPIC MACAY. I was a
Oh,
collaborator. I was part of of course, we would just hang out, have nice chai and samosa and be part of
uh-huh.
but then it was still a part of being part of a larger whole.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So then when did your journey of dance begin? Like how old were you when you started?
So I was, I think, 5.5 when, my aunt just lured me one Vijayadashmi saying, if you go and join class, my cousin used to be part of Chitraka's classes.
Okay.
So every Dashami, they would admit new students. And
Right.
so, there's always a showcase at that point in time where the students kind of showcase what they have done till then. And then
Uh-huh.
I was there at that moment, and my aunt was like, she gave me two 5 stars and said, Venu, na, if you join, I will give you an. And that's it.
The five
I
stars
mean,
of the tribe.
yes, absolutely. And they changed my life, and I'm so grateful to her for that. So, yeah,
Okay.
Uh,
that's how I
what
began.
are some of like your fond memories of your dance class and your friends in your dance class and everything
Oh,
from back then?
fabulous memories. Earlier on, of course, we used to be, growing up in a batch of students who did things together. We used to have, I think, Monday, Wednesday classes, three
Uh-huh.
days a week. We had Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4:30 to 6 or something like that. And Fridays were always theory classes. In the sense, we would learn.
Mhm.
The practicals were on, the other 2 days, and theory. And during theory, everybody would get together. Our batch, the senior batch, all the batches, and it used to be a fun time because we would then stay back after theory classes and play with each other. It used to be so much fun. I think a lot of my friends, we still remember those Friday evening, playing shoe catch and lock and key and all
Yeah.
really lame games, but fabulous times. And then sort of also interacting with the family, Chitraka, her husband, Vishwesh uncle, they were all very, and then Chitraka's father at that point. So all very beautiful memories.
Wow.
Growing up there, spending a lot of time there.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Sounds wonderful. So then so what made you continue this dance journey? Was it some type of repertoire or just why Bharatanatyam in general?
Well, I think I kept getting those 5 stars periodically, but I don't know. I think I just enjoyed it because also at some point in time you start identifying yourself with that, right?
Mhm.
You're dancing okay, and you're getting your teachers are encouraging, and the government of India gave me a scholarship, so I'm like, okay, another pat on my back, and then I had my arangetram, and then okay, another pat on my back, and so on. Then you start getting performances. People start sort of investing in you in your journey. My teacher certainly did. Chitraka, her eye for seeing things is extraordinary. And along the journey, along the way, I've had the phenomenal inputs of wonderful choreographers, including my most recent Collaboration is with Srimati Sharmila Biswas, an Odyssey exponent from Kolkata. So the inputs that I get from her, or the inputs that I get from this Kalakshetra veteran called Jyotsna Narayan, Srimati Jyotsna Narayanan, who's also a yoga practitioner from the Krishnamachari Yoga Mandiram. I don't know, I've just been so lucky with, inputs from all these wonderful artists. So the process is never ending. Process of learning, assimilation, growing is never ending. You can never really say that you have sort of mastered the art. No, the art is bigger than you. The art is something else.
Wonderful.
You said it very well, actually, that the art is bigger than you. That's amazing way to put it. How would you describe yourself as a dance student? Like me, when I was learning dance, I think that was the only time we would fight to be in the front row. Everywhere else in English class or physics class, we were sitting in the last row making the commotion. But dance class was the one where we were like, okay, we want to be the teacher's pet. So was
Oh.
that the way you were, or were you rather naughty or?
Yeah, I think I was naughty. I was a rebel. My teachers know me as a bit of a rebel, but I was also enthu enough. Oh, yes, all the shorties had to stay in front, right? So I was definitely already there
Yeah.
because I was like, the others were a little taller. And so by virtue of that, I had to be in front anyways. I think it was, you're right. I see what you mean. It was a moment where you rather, unless you're very unsure, you haven't done your homework, you haven't learned what you had to, and then you'll kind of sneak behind a little behind somebody. But then we were only eight, and each one of us were like visible. In my batch, we were only eight. There were another, there were different batches, but in my batch, we were about eight of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then you always caught people's eye because your face will reveal that you're like not there. So all of
Yeah.
that, but it was fun. We had some really, so Chitraka had senior students who would train us on a day-to-day thing. So we were a riot and they were a riot. So it used to be particularly Kaushalyaka and Ramaka later on, Induaka, yeah, just fabulous givers. Shiklaka, they were just so generous with their time and energies to train us.
How much older were they compared to you when you started them? Like,
So they're at least 15 to 20 years I mean, in terms of age, they would be so much, maybe not. Yeah, at least 10 to 15 years
oh,
my
okay.
seniors.
Like really seniors.
They would be at least two batches senior, two, three batches,
Right.
yeah, easily two batches senior.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Mhm.
And they were performing as well. So we had role models to emulate to
Ah,
Ramarna, it had to be like Induka, that kind of a thing.
okay.
Very, very
Right.
beautiful memories.
Are you still in touch with them? Oh, with all of
Yes, I try to be, I am. Yes.
them? Okay.
They're all in different parts of the continent, I mean,
Right.
the world. So, yes, but we do meet up whenever we're in the same country.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So we would like to ask you if you had to describe your relationship with dance in one word, what would it be?
Gratitude. It
Gratitude
opens the world of magic.
changes your view.
Unbelievable. Oh, unbelievable magic. To have this ticket or pass into this whole vortex of, this, oh my God. It's such a, I get very overwhelmed, but it's just such an honor.
You sound exactly like I would imagine a dancer to sound like your words are dancing. Like if you ask a normal person, oh, what do you think about this topic? They're like, oh yeah, this is easy or different. But the way you describe what your relationship with dance is, it's literally dancing words itself. It's a very amazing way you're talking about
It's
it.
it's
Very
my safe
touching.
space, it's my safe space, it's my escape space, it's my,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's a magical portal into which I have
Yeah.
access, and it's it's mysterious, it's magical, and it's such a blessing to have this, you
No,
know.
I can imagine. Because, well, as a student, whenever my friends, when I'm juggling between studying and dancing, they say that whenever I get on stage, I just become a different person. Like I get energy out of nowhere. But when I'm in class, I'm just the dull person. So I think something might be similar to, I think everybody who experiences dance in that way will get that energy out of nowhere.
Absolutely. You're just a vessel which Chitraka's always said that you're just a vessel. You're waiting to be filled
Mhm.
and you're waiting to share that energy with people. And unless the people are interacting with you and sharing of that energy, it cannot be, any
You
other way.
cannot pass it to them.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's as much the viewer's responsibility to take, to be receptive as much as it is the artist to give
Hmm.
and receive and give. So it's a wonderful symbiotic relationship, honestly. But yeah, dance is magical and it's superb. And if no, I'm not just saying dance specially because that's what I do, but art.
Art.
Mhm.
It's such a
Yeah.
world of it's a different world. And if anybody has access to it, they are blessed.
Yeah, they usually say arts are food for the soul.
Oh, totally.
So that's why whenever it whenever it got hard, my mom always pushed me, no, don't leave this. Take a break, but don't leave it. Keep it always.
She's absolutely right.
Do you have a dream stage where you would like to perform or you wanted to perform and you have already done it? Like, did you ever have something like that?
No, I just want to dance. It doesn't matter where.
That's great.
I
That sounds
want the
good.
experience of being able to dance and share. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
to revisit, to engage, to share. It's important because you have
Mhm.
stuff here you want to share.
Mm-hmm. But then, are there stages that you don't necessarily like to perform in? Is it like places where you don't think it'll reach them, or are you just happy dancing anywhere?
See, there have been challenging times, especially I'll tell you in SPIC MACAY when I've traveled to schools,
Mm-hmm.
schools with boys. It's
Mm-hmm.
been it's been quite a challenge to get them to just like, hello, watch me. I'm here to tell you stuff. I'm telling you stories. Listen to me. Make an effort to just. But but that's the whole challenge. How do you speak in a language that they will understand as well as you know yeah, just listen to you. Like if I'm telling you the story of Hanuman, I need to. So there have been stages that have been difficult, especially this Kendriya Vidyalayas somewhere back in India,
Mm-hmm.
where I've had, it was quite challenging working with these little boys. So it's not, I can't,
You
it
can't.
was just challenging. It's
Right.
not their fault, it's
Yeah.
not my fault, but it was a huge challenge.
Right.
Mhm.
Those kind of things. But it's nicer when people are receptive, when even if they're noisy and all, then finally when you come on stage and you say, shh, watch me, listen to me, I have something to tell you, and they're like, uh-huh. But they again, Speak Mackey again. I think my most favorite experiences have been Speak Mackey when when I threw something and somebody was one of the kids were like, that kind of a thing. So those things have also happened.
Okay.
Uh, Stages I don't like to dance on are places where the floor has not been considered at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
That
every
becomes,
dance is
then you're
nightmare.
not able to sort of deliver without thinking about, am I going to step on a stone? Am I going to hurt myself? All
Mhm.
those things. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be thinking of these things. I just want to like share.
Yeah. Or when I think for one of the concerts that I've been to, the stage was too slippery for one of the artists.
Oh, yes.
I was quite
Sorry.
scared for her on how she was going to perform.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So those are very difficult situations.
Mhm. As a teacher, do you have your favorite disciplining method? Like my teacher had this long stick and she would just bang it on the floor right next to your feet to scare you, but obviously not hit you. And that would just scare you like, okay, no, I have to practice. I cannot miss practice at home before coming to class, or I'm standing in the back, right? Like I said before. Do you have something like that too?
Okay, so gone are the days when we could do those things. My
Yes.
teachers were, they would just yell and we would sort of get it that they were upset. But nowadays, if you yell, your students just go away. So you're like, ah, okay. And then you have nobody to yell at. So you just like to hold your tongue, be very polite and say, boss, you've not
Mm,
done your homework. So you come back, you want to get to the next level, then you need to put in the effort of remembering what we did last time. So we just go from level to level. Otherwise, it's not
Right.
going to work. Yeah,
mhm.
it doesn't work any other way. And with me,
Yeah.
for me, my students luckily are much older.
Mhm.
They're all sort of almost they're practicing dancers themselves, so they're a lot more receptive and they're a lot more interested that I don't have to like, you won't see me like Professor Calculus at the end of it, like I'm
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
How old are your students? Are they
My youngest is about 18, sorry, 20 now, 20,
okay?
21, and then 33, 40, all of that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They're older. Some of them are married and have babies, but then they're very much into dancing and they're all committed dancers,
Right.
so teachers themselves. So it's a lot easier to engage with them.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
You wouldn't face
Yeah.
this issue as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to have really tiny kids, and then I had to give up because I realized I wasn't getting through to them. They would come for class and then they would say, I'm going to go pluck flowers, and then I would go with them to pluck flowers, and I'm like, but we had several such things. We had 5 different activities to do. But beyond a point, I was like, okay, it's not working, And they would take that class for me because I couldn't engage them for more than 10 minutes in one activity. And then
Right.
Mm,
finally, they were like, okay, we are going home.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, great. That kind of a thing. But yeah,
Okay.
older kids are better. 12, I'm sorry, even 15 plus is a good age
Good.
for
mhm.
stuff to go in.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we will be officially moving on to the theme of today's podcast, which is Bharatanatyam in modern age. So we have a few questions prepared for you, which are basically you can give 2 or 3 liners for this. And we would like to start off with rather a slightly more controversial question. In your opinion, is social media a boon or a bane for Bharatanatyam?
Boon and a bane, both actually.
Mhm.
Because, okay, let me start with bane. We are thriving on mediocrity now. Mediocrity is everywhere, and anybody and everybody become dancers. The investment of time to kind of let the art grow in your body doesn't happen. Grow in your body and mind doesn't happen. Everybody is a guru from the age of 16. The word is so badly misused, it's not funny anymore. So all those things, it promotes mediocrity. That's one thing. But then if social media is also good, that you have access to a lot of uh, wonderful, you have access to seniors and artists that you would like to engage with.
Mhm.
You know what is happening, you're sort of in touch with what is happening and all of that. So there are positives as well. You're able to spread your word around. You're able to, information is very easily
Accessible.
accessible. But then this is also that, right? So every Tom, Dick, and Harry is now, sorry, every Tom and Harry is is an artist now. So
Hmm.
that is also there. I'm
Right.
not too happy about this mediocrity. You kind of do a new thing and then you want to put it up and say, "Hey, watch." It
Yeah, it's
doesn't
only
work like that.
for the viral thing to make it viral, but then the actual technique is not there. So,
Okay. Next question. What is your opinion on collaborating with dancers or musicians from different cultures?
so outside India.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful because at the end of the day, it's it's a it's a language of communication. And if you have an idea, it's fantastic to explore it in any which way, right? As long as it is communicated. The intent is important and communication is important. I think it's wonderful,
Okay.
you know.
Have you
Yeah.
have you ever been a part of such a collaboration?
I won't say I have collaborated with, we've done storytelling, like I've had the mixed media, like there would be a drama, I mean, there would be a element of theater and there would be music, and you had to come in and sort of be a sort of a listening thing between so those things, yes, the story has been spoken and it has been enacted and it has been sung, those kind of things, but never outside our culture.
Right.
I've largely invested in our myth, our epics, our
Mhm.
Indian philosophy so to speak. No, I haven't tried outside. I should. It's a good idea. Thank you.
Okay. And this is, I don't know if this is as relevant because you have slightly older students, but it was regarding how do you compare teaching to millennials or Gen Z versus how you have learned this art form during your day?
You see, there was no, I don't think when we got angry, we just upped and left. We didn't. There were times I remember growing up from that age from 6 to 10. It was a struggle because teachers were strict. You
Mm.
had to periodify, you had to spread out your legs from the you had to do it. Kaala
Mhm.
tatti தான் if you didn't do it, they will yell at you, and if they yelled at you, you'll start crying. And I was just a softie, I think, even then. So there've been times that I would just like be crying, but then I would have to go back the next. இப்போ அப்படி இல்லையே. So the minute you cry, they don't come for class after that. I've had kids like that. So which is why I was like, okay, boss, I can teach older kids, but I don't have it in me to kind of teach kids younger kids. Yeah, but no, it doesn't work. You cannot raise your voice. You cannot demand perfection. You cannot.
Do you think that's necessary to hone a student's ability?
I think it's very important. But I also think that time is such an essential that is non-available now, right?
Mhm.
Growing up, kids are doing, oh my God, X to the power of 14 different things.
Mhm.
And to kind of then pressurize them to do Peritico, do this, and class after class, how are you then making their life any? I don't know, you're always torn between being truthful to the art form but also being understanding towards the child. How do you kind
Mhm.
of strike a balance which works for?
Right.
So I don't know, I haven't and but I'm lucky because my students are in a point at a time. At this moment they're able to say, okay, I get it, I will just work on it and come back to you when I'm ready
Right. So
you know
they're
Mhm.
dedicated enough for you not to deal with
they're
this.
not doing five different things, they're
Right.
doing one thing, and they're doing
Yeah.
it really, they're
Really
putting
well.
in their, yeah, time
Mhm.
into it.
Okay.
Okay. And if you could modernize one thing about Bharatanatyam, what would it be? It could be the choreography or the costume or the teaching methods. Like, what would you think needs modernizing in Bharatanatyam?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's evolving. We are using it to communicate our stories at the moment. Very contemporary idiom. Not just me, but everybody is doing it. Look at Srimati Rama Vaidyanathan's repertoire. Look, everybody is talking about their own stories. There's no need to get more contemporary. Contemporary is what you think today now, relevant to the moment now.
Mhm.
It's all there. And the teaching methods are I don't really think there's anything to change or revolutionize.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everything is available on the internet, everything, it's all there. But then you have to, if you need to be guided, you need to go to a teacher. It has to be a one-on, I mean, beyond a point, it has to be a one-on-one, whatever. But you have a physical presence is essential.
Yeah,
Online is fine, YouTube is fine, all that is fine. But then the energy is in person is very different from.
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Yeah.
think particularly for dance, it's even more essential. Like there's only so much you can learn.
Mhm.
Yeah, because a two-dimensional thing, medium of learning is very different from a three-dimensional, especially when it comes to
Mhm.
the body. I
Yeah.
won't be able to tell you whether your shoulders are here or whether it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is important, that the muscles at the upper back are held.
Mm.
Mhm.
For the life of me, I've not been able to sort that out with my students. I'm like, but I still can't tell.
And if they go too back, you can't read their facial expression. You can't tell the abhinaya. So
So yeah, it's a huge challenge.
Mm. Okay.
And last thing is, well, more of a follow-up. What is one thing you like and you dislike on how Bharatanatyam has evolved?
I think I already mentioned that. It's just that the mediocrity that we have in the name of Bharatanatyam is exhausting,
Mm.
is sad, it's truly sad. What is one thing I like? The other thing that I'm a little worried about is what happens as we go forward. You
Okay.
know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just that's what happens as we go forward. How do we kind of, but I don't have a solution for that. What happens? What happens to Bharatanatyam as we go forward? Um, and what is the thing that I like? I'm glad it's sort of growing and it's evolving into some, if, I see that it is becoming a language of communication and not necessarily stuck with traditional, this is the stories that we only learned. See, growing up, we are taught things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different things. And from there, you have to sort of grow, but largely the growth stops with that, and we go on working with only the, say, X number of things that we have learned.
Mm.
But I see that people are more into being able to express newer things, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Use it in new ways to explain things to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with
Yeah.
new things like environmental issues,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
global warming, all those things. Everything is being spoken of. Don't cut trees. That trees can speak, or whatever. Small things. That animals are don't cut down forests because animals have nowhere to go. Those things. Those messages are important.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether something comes about it or not is okay, but these are moments that you feel very deeply and you resonate with, and it's important at that moment to be able to share it.
Right.
Yeah.
So using it as a medium to shape minds, or at least an attempt to shape minds.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
Okay.
think my favorite one is art with mental health issues, because I've been to exhibitions where there were paintings or photographs, and that could actually bring you to tears because they are trying to tell you a story. And as soon as you understand the story, as soon as you understand the artist's mental state or point of view, it's just so overwhelming. It's amazing. And that's the
Correct.
same thing happening with also classical dance in India as well, which is great. Okay. So these were the serious questions. We move on to the fun ones, which is the rapid fire round. So we give you a question and a few answers, and you pick whatever is at the top of your head at that point. Okay. So the first one, what do you prefer practicing in? Comfortable kurta and dupatta or practice sari?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Okay. What type of music would you like performing to outside the typical repertoire? Carnatic rock metal music like Agam, Western classical music like Beethoven, Eastern music like Chinese or Iranian, or pop music with Carnatic elements like Indian raga.
Agam is good, and also Eastern music.
All right.
Okay. Next, what is your favorite costume? Dance costume, silk sari draped, or practice sari?
All three.
All three, if you had to choose one.
The most practical is the dance costume, but I enjoyed the drapes.
Okay.
Next, what can you not tolerate the most during dance practice? Hair not tied up, wearing a pant and a t-shirt, and no bindi.
Hair not tied up seems the most annoying at the moment.
Hmm.
Yes. I'm guessing also for the student, it would be very annoying
Yeah.
going everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Anything that distracts from the form is annoying.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I see that in my class or other classes I go. It's all fashionable with all hair out.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We used to
Okay.
have, I think, no, we used to have pins in our class, and there were always bindis, extra
Yeah.
bindis. So we didn't
Ah,
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
Because earlier I remember we would take time to, like, the time we had to lose time, right? So that we were not made to do different adavas. And so the bindi had to fall off, the sash had to come off, and then
Uh,
we'd stand and take time to loosen it and tighten it and all of that. So we had to foolproof the system after a point.
right.
Okay. Which Indian classical dance do you reckon is the hardest for beginners? Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Odissi, or Kathakali?
Odissi. And Odissi remains my favorite. Had I not been a Bharatanatyam dancer, I would have. Yeah, my heart is over there in Odissi.
Is
I
it
love that answer because I learned Odissi dancing myself.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites, yes.
such a beautiful, graceful form?
Sculptural,
Yeah.
sculpturesque. Yeah, I love it. Mm.
I think as a Bharatanatyam student, when I see Odissi performances, I don't know how they move their torso. So
Oh, yes.
really
Oh,
have to-
yes.
wow.
Me too. I'm always in awe of that.
Okay.
And your thighs are really strong after that, just saying.
Okay. To do.
Okay. Which type of non-Indian dancer would you like to have a jugalbandi with? Tap dancer, ballet,
Yes. Tap
flamenco?
dancer. Tap dancer, flamenco. Yeah.
Okay. Hip hop,
Mm.
Afro jazz. Still
No.
tap.
Flamenco
Tap.
or tap dancing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Nice. If you
Nice.
could perform Bharatanatyam in any modern venue, Louvre Museum,
Oh,
Coachella
yes.
Music and Arts Festival, TED Talk stage, flash mob in an airport. Which one would it be?
Louvre, TED Talk stage, but yeah, airport. No, I don't care.
No. Okay. And what is one thing you absolutely dislike with students? Has not practiced before class, not sufficiently warmed up, talking during class, or checking the phone during class?
The last two are a no-no.
Last word, no. Mm.
Talking during class is also okay,
Mm.
but checking phone and all, no chance.
No
Mhm.
chance. Okay, so it has to be switched off or put aside before coming into the class.
Oh, yes. More so that there was a moment when we were attending workshops by Malavika Sarukai ji,
Mhm.
and she would ask us to remove our wristwatches. So
Mhm.
no time here, no time, no concept of time in class. I think that was beautiful. That was such an
Yeah.
important lesson for me.
Wow.
You know, the fantastic thing about these greats are it's because of these small things, you
Hmm.
know? Like who would say, who would? I mean, but it has registered in my head and I do not take a watch into my class. You know?
Such
It's
an
a moment to experiment. It's a moment to be with yourself where time cannot rule what you're doing. Mm-mm.
That's a very interesting take. I would not have thought of that.
Okay.
Okay, last question. Which part of the Margam would you like to perform the most for an international audience? So A. Tilana, B. Varnam, C. Shabdam, D. Padam.
Varnam.
Varnam. Okay, that's it. We wrap up with our rapid fire round.
So we're done.
We have one last part, which only
Okay.
has two questions, which is the futuristic questions. The first one is if you could send one message to every aspiring dancer listening right now, what would it be?
Enjoy every minute of dancing. It's a magical portal, and it's yours if you invest in it. Just invest in it and give to it, give into it. You know, it's a beautiful opportunity. Not everybody gets to experience it,
Okay.
and give it your all.
Yeah, very nice.
I think that's very
Okay.
important for as students when we're learning to hear it from artists like you.
Mhm.
And the last question, I think you've already answered this partially, but if Bharatanatyam were to evolve in the next 50 years, what aspects do you think should remain untouched and what can still be reinvented?
Oops. What aspects remain untouched? Everything that we do till now should remain untouched, you know? Okay, that's a very vague answer. But okay, so there was this one person, as far as I understand, I'm doing this, study for the senior fellow, for the Ministry of Culture in India. And I've had to go and interview and understand from different practitioners to see how the dance form has evolved, you know, from
Mhm.
different banis, so to say,
Mhm.
from different styles. So what I've understood is that there has been Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai or Tata,
Right.
who has been the grandfather of Bharatanatyam. Let us say
Mhm.
he was one person from Tanjore who came to Chennai, and from there on he had students. He had students whom he taught. He had other people, his nephews and all, who came, whom he trained, and they also sort of started teaching. So there was this one person who was instrumental in Bharatanatyam becoming what it is today with the different banis, because A came from Valvoor, B came from somewhere else, C came from Pandanal, and so on and so forth. Different villages, different descendants, Hey Rambanathar. I mean, basically, I'm taking names randomly, but you understand. There was one person, and then there were all these
Branches.
branches. What has unfortunately happened now is that growing up, there is a sort of thing where we say, I don't like that pani, I like this pani, I belong to this pani, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But the whole, perhaps now understanding that this is where this could be, this is what I think. I could be very wrong. I need to check with my teachers. But this whole thing of it being under one umbrella, one person, one style, one sort of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam
Mm-hmm.
really appeals to me. Instead of saying, I belong to this Bani, or just saying that this is beautiful dancing, this is beautiful art. That, if we can do that, I think we'll be a lot more
Together.
supportive of each other.
Right. One community.
One community of dancers, of artists, you know, and taking the good, taking the taking what is fantastic and special about um, uh, all of them, and
Mm.
sort of making it fun, really, really making it stronger than it is.
Right.
It because the Barneys also come from, say, if X can bend a little, then X's students will start bending a little.
Yeah.
If Y cannot bend at all, then Y students will have a dance form. Y students and students of Y down 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 will have a form that doesn't have any bends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how things have become so many Barneys, and people are still kind of dividing by creating more Barneys, which is completely
Yeah.
not needed.
At some point, the lines become so blurry, you don't even need those lines.
Yeah, you don't need it, no?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that I feel very strong, and this is something I'm sort of beginning to understand now. I could be just like blowing through my head, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But this would be your opinion on maybe changing it. Or
maybe trying to sort of become more enveloping of the whole thing, of saying that okay, it came from there.
okay. Yeah, I recently saw this video on YouTube where it was on a Mysore Jati, and she was discussing how she was collaborating with artists from different banis, and all of them had restrictions like you shouldn't move your head too much, you ha shouldn't. But in the Mysore Jati, they had to move their head, so everybody just had to follow one thing or had to just completely change their approach, and they found it nice to try out a new thing.
Nice. That's important also to not have limitations for the body. It's all here. It's all the mind finally.
Okay. Thank you very much for being a part of our podcast. It was really, really nice talking to you. As I understand, you have a concert in Bonn on 22nd of October. So yes, everyone, please go and see her in Bonn at the University of Bonn, Bharatanatyam recital. Bhavya, do you want to add something?
Yeah, it was just very pleasurable talking to you, ma'am. I had a lot of fun to say and discuss with you. And I think I resonate a lot as a student, and it's also just aspirational.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I absolutely enjoyed myself. Sorry, I just kind of didn't really control my, I wasn't being careful or cautious. I just let go. But yeah, I had a good time. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to Bonn. I really do. It's I'm quite yes, to be in the university and the department where it's about Asian and Muslim studies. I have a lot of stories to tell, and I'm looking forward to sharing. So
Lovely.
I hope to see you there.
Thank you for attending, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.